This is going to be my spoiler-free version of my review for the Shepherd King duology, which includes One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. If you've already read this duology, definitely head over to my page for my spoiler alert version where I go into a lot more detail, but this is going to be for if you haven't read these books yet. So, first of all, I gave this book 4 stars and this book 4.5 stars, and to make the duology a 4.5 star read for me. I did really enjoy it. I did. Starting off with One Dark Window, it was very confusing in the beginning. Very confusing. However, I just kept reading and I was like, you know what, it's gonna click. And it did. Once it clicked, I was really into it. Really into it. I really liked the plot. I love the world and the magic. It was so unique. So unique. Now, don't get me wrong. I have not read a lot of fantasy yet. However, of the fantasy I've read, I feel like everything I've read has been very similar. This was so far gone from everything I've read so far, and I loved that about this. Loved it. However, I did find this book very predictable. Then going into this book, now listen, this book, I 100% felt like this was part 1 and part 2. I didn't feel like they were 2 separate books. This book genuinely did not have an ending, in my opinion. I felt like it literally just ended. So if you're going to read One Dark Window, I would definitely say have Two Twisted Crowns on hand, because I could honestly consider them one big book. I didn't feel like they were separate by any means. The only thing separate is that in this book, it does follow some other characters, whereas in this book, it follows 2 main characters. I liked this book significantly more. I found One Dark Window to be very predictable. I found Two Twisted Crowns not to be. I was like, what the heck is going on here? And I was just flipping through because I was so excited to figure out what was going on. In this book, I pretty much knew everything that was going to happen. So that was a little underwhelming and a little frustrating for me. Ending with this book, I really enjoyed it. I will say that overall, in Two Twisted Crowns, I was confused. There was a lot of parts where I was just like, what is going on? But pushing through those, trying not to dwell on them, I ended the book really loving it. Overall, gave this 4.5 stars. I would recommend this to anyone looking for a short fantasy read from beginning to end. I don't feel like 2 books is a lot when it comes to fantasy. So I feel like this is overall a short little series, and I think it's great. It's very unique. It has a dark, mysterious feel to it. Not dark like trigger dark, but dark like gothic dark. So very unique, very good. I very much so enjoyed it, and I would recommend.